Guys, today we are installing the best option for a steering wheel for your square body. But before we do that, let's take a look at the steering wheel that came with this in 1990. You see, back then they upgraded to the new steering wheel style that came with these trucks in the 88 and up when they changed the body styles. I don't really care for it. Granted, I didn't mind it back in those trucks because the trucks were new, the steering wheel was new. This really is the only thing that's new in this 1990 Suburban over all the previous square body trucks. So my goal today is to remove this odd looking steering wheel. Yeah, I don't think it belongs in a square body. And we're going to replace it with something a little more classic from Forever Sharp. Let's take a look. So what we're upgrading to is this wooden wheel, classic 3-spoke, and we've got the black adapter to go to the steering column. And we've also got a couple of choices here for the horn button. We've got the Forever Sharp logo, and we've also got the Chevrolet logo. There's the part number on each of those items if you guys want one. I'm going to leave a link in the description box down below. But before we can install any of this, I want to thank Forever Sharp for sponsoring this video and the opportunity to do another install video on one of their great steering wheels. I've got one in my old Chrysler Cordoba. If you guys want to see that, I'll put that in this video up here somewhere. You guys can go check out that video and see how that one turned out. And if you do decide you want to purchase a Forever Sharp steering wheel, make sure you ask for these air fresheners. These are the best smelling air fresheners on the market, in my humble opinion, of course. So thanks Forever Sharp for sponsoring this video. Let's get into the install. So because I'm in a family campground doing this video on a weekend, we're going to disconnect the negative side of the battery. That way we don't accidentally blast the horn and annoy people while we're hooking up our new steering wheel horn button. So one of the first things you want to do is make sure that your steering wheel is sitting absolutely level. This way you know when you put the new one on that everything is going to look right if the label on the horn button is straight across, and you want to make sure that driving down the road you don't have a steering wheel that's cocked off one way or the other. On these old steering wheels, all you gotta do to remove the horn button is just kind of get your fingers in behind the button here, give it a little tug, falls out in your lap, and then inside here it looks like we've got a 7/8 nut that we've got to get that taken off, and we'll get the steering wheel pulled off the column. Little tip, once you get this 7/8 nut rolled off about as far as you want to on the actual threaded portion itself, sometimes if you're lucky, take both hands, one here, one over here, you can wiggle that steering wheel off. Most of the time though, it's not going to be that easy. You've got to get some pressure on that, give it a little love tap with the hammer like I'm about to do. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try the wiggle method first. And pretty confident that wasn't going to work. So I'm going to put my foot on the brake pedal. I'm going to use the upper part of my thigh, and up here I'm going to hold that, and with my hammer I'm going to try and give it a good couple of whacks from behind in hopes to break that loose. And this is where you wear yourself out over something so trivial. And when that doesn't work, there is a steering wheel puller that you can get. It threads into this hole over here and this one over here, and the centerpiece pushes against the threaded part of the column here, and we'll just draw that in closer to you. Sadly, I don't have one of those, so what we're going to do is continue beating the hell out of this thing until it comes apart. So I'm going to get my buddy Ross to give me a hand here. I need like 2 more hands.
Need some help there, bud?
I do.
Okay.
I've got to be able to pull back or pressure this way, and then I need to be able to hit that at the same time.
Okay. So
you can hit and I'll pull.
You sure, bud?
I trust you.
You look ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure I do. Here, I'll hold this and you hit it.
Oh, ow.
Throw your purse at it.
Not coming.
That's what she said. Space in behind the nut, right?
Uh-huh.
Button
That's
down
what she
there.
said.
Yeah. Well, you're no help at all.
Well, that could be.
Well, looks like I'm waiting until I get a steering wheel puller. You know how many times I've done this job without a steering wheel puller? At least a dozen. That's why I usually don't buy one, because I just give her a few taps. You know what I didn't try? Penetrating oil. Okay. Oh, so much wrong with that. She's gooey. Where's my shim? I wanted a business card. They left me two. Actually, this is the guy I bought the truck from.
Yeah.
He left a bunch of them in here. I do have some dashkins.
Chips.
Yeah, see, that's getting pushed way in there too.
Yeah. It's probably not getting a lot of force behind it.
That's what she said. People who watch The Office.
Love the Office.
I was stuck with two of those on for 2,000 miles. Both of them quoting shit back and forth. I'm like, guys, enough already.
It's the best show ever. It really is. Did you watch it like at all?
I literally sat down to watch it. I could barely get through the first episode. And I'm like, and they're only like half-hour episodes, right?
Oh my god.
I'm like, really? People are drawn to this?
Shit's awesome.
That's what she said. Although I like Steve Carell.
Do you have like some nickels or something? You can make a stack of them in there. It's like it's
like a cushion.
yeah.
You're not getting
Just not getting the full impact.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I wonder if I've got a smaller 7/8 socket. That's a 3/4 or a half-inch drive. And that should be direct.
Yeah.
Direct impact. You want to try it?
Nope. I break something, it's not my fault. The steering wheel's gonna land in my chest.
Or this. Ready?
Yep. What? Holy shit. They're not gonna work. They're not gonna work on a vending machine.
Yeah, who uses nickels anyway?
They're stacked nice and neat though. Where'd the other one
I
go?
don't know. It went down in here somewhere, I think.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, sweet.
Oh my god. Good thing they didn't search your
Good
gun
thing they
across the
didn't
border.
search it.
22? No, 9mm.
Yes, sir. Well, now. Well, I think we'll have to put this on hold, I guess, until I can find myself a proper puller.
Yeah.
You watch going home, it'll fall off. Son of a... Well, we didn't gain anything, but we really didn't lose anything. It's a pretty simple project to do. Like I said, like 9 times out of 10, this you tap that 3 or 4 times, it jars loose, right?
Do you have one at the shop, or do you gotta
No,
go get one?
no. I don't have one at the shop because, like I said, anytime I've ever done this, those couple of taps are usually what it takes, is all it takes for them to pop off.
Oh, wow.
Found a 9mm shell casing. I'm sure there's more than just one. If there's one, there's probably a few of them kicking around.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up, Jared. Now that I know it's there, I gotta go looking for them now, eh? Of course, if empty ammo, they're not gonna say anything.
Yeah. But still,
We don't want to give them an excuse to...
tear apart your car.
Yeah, exactly. Nope, we didn't find anything. Okay, you can put it back together now.
Yeah.
Tighten that back up for now and come back at her later. I really didn't want to do that today anyway. So this is not the steering wheel puller that I had in mind. However, I think it's going to do the trick because we can get those 2 bolts in close enough so that it actually screws in and pushes out, which is what we want. And different threads. Well, son of a... I've got to go find a couple of bolts, I guess, that are the right pitch and the right length to get that thing screwed in there. I'll be right back. All right, so we found a couple of right length bolts and thread bolts. So we got them locked in. We got this tightened up. So now we should, in theory, be able to crank on this thing, pull that steering column off, and, well, replace this steering wheel like we intend to do right from the very beginning. So as you can tell, the steering wheel is loose. So now we can loosen up our 1/2-inch bolts here. And that just goes to prove that with the proper tools, you can get the job done a lot quicker. We spin the nut off the rest of the way. There you go. Steering wheel is in hand. So we're getting ready to put everything back together, and we notice here that someone's been here before because this little column for the horn button wire is broken. There should be a little slot going in it in one direction because it's got these little tongs on the end of it right there that push in and then turn to lock into place. So that seems to be gone. What we're going to do is we're going to take a hacksaw blade and we're going to kind of cut a new little notch in there to lock it in so that this doesn't come popping out and potentially cause our horn to get stuck or not work at all. So we're going to get that done, get this into place, and then we'll reassemble everything. So we've got that little groove cut in there so that this piece can kind of just go in and lock into place. So now that will stay in place the way the original one was supposed to. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our steering wheel adapter. We are going to fish this wire through one of these two, and I'm going to choose that one right there because I think that's the one that's going to work. And that's going to slide into place. It's cogged the same as the original steering wheel. Then you take your steering column adapter, again, run that through there. And once you get that on there, you're going to notice that the 3 holes line up with the 3 holes on the adapter. One last adapter that's going to go on there with the same 3 holes is your spacer. So you've got to run your spacer through the oval hole right here. And then once that's done, you're going to take the provided bolts that come with it. I think they're 12mm, and you're going to start threading those into place to lock everything together. So now that we've got all of our bolts lined up here perfectly, now we can go ahead and put our retaining nut back into place. And now that that's in there, we can go ahead and tighten up our retaining bolts. Now it's time to struggle a little bit. Now would be a good time where a second set of hands would be good to help you hold this in place where it's got to be and get these wires plugged in and start with your alignment bolts. Seeing as how I'm alone, we're going to use our knees. So there we have our new Forever Sharp steering wheel installed on our 1990 Chevy Suburban we call Dale Jr. One of the things that I would recommend is do not use an impact when tightening these 6 bolts onto your adapter, because that adapter is aluminum, and with an impact you stand the chance of potentially stripping those out. So I would just say do this by hand, just like your lug nuts on your wheel. Go opposite every other one and keep going around till they're tight. You'll know they don't have to be cinching tight. But again, you don't want to strip out that aluminum plate. Once again, I'm quite thankful to Forever Sharp for sponsoring this video and sending me this new steering wheel. I'll leave all the details for it down in the description box below if you guys want to get one for yourself. They have all kinds of steering wheels, not just for your cars, but for big rigs as well, and everything that you need to make it happen. Thanks again, Forever Sharp, for turning my 1990 Suburban back into a classic. So thank you guys for sticking around to the end of this video. There was a little bit of humor mixed in there in the middle, but I hope you got the point of the installation of this steering wheel. There are links down below that for other things that you can get discounts on, including my merchandise store where you can get Olde Carr Guy t-shirts, and there's a link to my Amazon affiliate store where you can get all the same great deals as you buy from Amazon already. The only difference is if you use that link, anything you buy, I get a little bit of a kickback from Amazon. And when you guys support the channel like that, it allows us to afford to be able to do some of the things that we're going to do. This steering wheel is the first of many upgrades on this old Suburban. We've got paint correction, we got vinyl wraps, we got engine, transmission, we've also got suspension upgrades we're gonna be doing to this thing, so make sure you stay around. Guys, stay focused on the windshield, not the rear view mirror. I love you, God bless. Let's do it again in the next video.